What's something that people think makes them look cool but actually has the opposite effect? Please stop blasting your music in places where people cannot escape it. I see your earbuds in your pocket. Please. Salvation. My husband just got his hair cut into a mullet. So there's that. A lot of Redditors seem to think that stolen witty one-liners make them look like the patron gods of debate and reason. The next time I see someone say, "I came for a battle of wits but it seems you came unarmed," unironically I will set their house on fire and then myself. I've been into the import tuna scene for close to 20 years at this point. Now this was more a style of the time, say 15 years ago. Backwards upside down visor hats. WTF. Why was that a thing? It'd make more sense to walk around with an onion tied to your belt. They think so fast their brain needs a spoiler. Hating all genres of music except the one they like. I learned this the hard way by only liking heavy metal and SHting on all other music without giving a chance as a teen. Metal's still my favorite, but all genres have good music. Kids bragging about their parents' wealth and success. There was a guy my best friend dated in high school who had very wealthy lawyers as parents, and he scoffed at me and my friends for having part-time, minimum wage jobs. He said, verbatim, "Nothing is worth doing if it pays less than $50 an hour. That's what my parents make," and that was the moment I realized there really are people that are that out of touch from reality. One-upping and putting other people down to make yourself look good. Rife in white-collar jobs. I despise people who do it. When people play their music loud at the gas pumps. I recently saw a woman leave her toddler in the car with the crappy music blasting to the point that it was uncomfortable and unpleasant for everyone else pumping gas. While she went into the store. Felt bad for that child. Having a phone conversation on a loudspeaker in public. Or blasting crappy music from a cheap oversaturated BT speaker on public transport. We get it. Negative attention is also attention. But taking over a public space with your edginess is just being in a hole. My parents have recently discovered speakerphone and refuse to believe there is such a thing as speakerphone etiquette. I'll be talking to them and all of a sudden I'll hear, "So do we know what we want to order?" And I realize they've been holding this entire conversation on speakerphone in a restaurant surrounded by people trying to enjoy their dinner. Having a side chick, girl, guy. Especially in some Instagram comedy cringe sketches where it's relatable jokes. No. It's not funny or cool to cheat on your significant other. You're trash. I thought this said sidekick and I thought that would be hella cool to have a sidekick. Judging random people and making fun of the less fortunate. No, you're not cool. You're a douche. I'm not sure if this is just an Australian thing. But people who rev their cars, motorbikes really loud. And it's usually quite late at night while most people are trying to sleep. Good old Craig in his souped-up Honda Civic racing down the road at 3 a.m. SHting on things other people like. We all have stuff we don't like. But if you spend all your time putting down everything a person is interested in, you don't look cool or edgy. You look like AD with no interests. Even the most popular things aren't enjoyed by a majority of people. Most people don't enjoy Marvel movies or Taylor Swift or a specific sport or a specific religion. If you don't like these things, you are not unique. Just the people not interested in these things don't talk about them because they don't care about them. Telling the world how much you dislike something just makes you a boring person that wants to talk about things you don't find interesting. Talk to people about the things you like, not dislike. Being a holes without a reason. I really hate that this is me. From a young age I've always been in a hole to pretty much all of my friends, and now as I'm getting older I'm realizing how much of an a hole I am, and I really hate it, and a lot of the time I really try to stop, but it's become so much of a habit that it's really hard. I know that it could be adolescence and I've always struggled with dealing with my emotions. I compress them a lot and let them all out at once and become a complete mess. Especially anger, because I lash out at things almost instantaneously. I really hate it and I'm aware of it, it's just really hard to stop. Elitism. It's effing stupid to attack someone who enjoys a hobby only just because doesn't put his life on it. Oh, you hate elitism. Name 3 elitists. People who come out with life lessons and quotes. They think they are so profound and deep, but I think they come off as big-headed and stupid. It's never your successful friends posting inspirational quotes on Facebook. My ex puts his own quotes in his Facebook profile picture every month, including the date he said it. It's one of the cringiest things I've seen. He's doing a PhD in philosophy. Weed. It's fun and all, but it's not a goddamn personality. That attitude itself literally kept me off dogs as a kid. As all my friends started smoking pot, it became the only thing they ever talked about, and being a pothead consumed their identity. I found it lame and off-putting, so I never got into it beyond trying it. I have nothing against weed. Enjoy it all you want. But seriously, it's not a personality. Same goes for some craft beer fans who literally never have anything to talk about except beer. And I say this as someone who works in the industry and loves craft beer. Being into zodiac signs and using them as an excuse for any of their unlikable behavior. Did you see how I snapped on that waiter? I'm sorry, but Mercury is in retrograde and this Leo doesn't have time for his SH. How much they can drink before passing out. Wow. Man or a woman, effing applause to you. Great achievement. I'm glad that I get drunk fast because it saves me money. To add to this, people who brag about driving drunk. Seriously. You put your life in danger. And the lives of anyone in your path. And you think it's funny? Grown women who use baby talk to other adults in normal conversation. No. You are not cute or cool or whatever the hell you think you are. Weirdo. I had a friend who was engaged to a woman who was a kindergarten teacher. And she did that stuff all the time. But I think it was just the way she talked because of her job. She wasn't doing it to be cute or something. Boasting about having psychiatric issues. People literally brag about their depression like they're talking about the phone W. New features like, well, my depressions comes with self-hatred and no motivation. When you try to play it cool by not immediately answering the texts of someone you're interested in. Just makes you look disinterested. Okay, I used to not get this. But when you text someone and they take 30 minutes to respond, it always feels weird responding 10 seconds later. I unironically like wearing fingerless gloves. For actual tasks. Not just out and about. When people ask me why I wear them, I tell them it's because I'm so cool. I'm not exactly certain how uncool they make me. But I know it's a lot. Group of teens trying to sound like a badass while talking. Like, hey bro, look how cool I am. I did this, and not realizing that it's embarrassing. Or people who grew up in the suburbs. Or in a rich gated community trying to pretend that they grew up in the projects. Would that not be an insult also to people who really did grow up in the projects or in poor circumstances? The fricking 5th graders on my bus yelling about Fortnite at 6 in the morning. Hey, so I has this every morning on my commute, and I had enough one day and told them this: it's great that you're excited about something, but we all would like it if you kept it down. Especially since it's so early in the morning. It worked. For reference, I am a 5'2" lady. Give it a go and report back, friend. Someone who smoked weed once who then goes on to brag about it. Honestly. Bragging about smoking weed itself. I've met several people who casually interject how high they are into a random conversation and seemingly try to bring up the fact they smoke weed at any given moment. Bragging about getting high is about as cool as bragging about getting drunk. I mean, I don't particularly care if people smoke it. Nor if it's legalized. At least then a lot of these people might stop thinking they're edgy by talking about it constantly to their unfortunate interlocutors. When babies get excited about walking. Real effing cool, baby. I can walk too. Not only that. But you can walk better than that SH baby. Probably run too. People who drop or smash their weights at the gym on purpose. Effing fedoras. My dad is an attorney in his early 60s and probably one of the last guys in Chicago who wears a fedora with his suit like he's a character in The Road to Perdition. He looks awesome. Every time I see him in the hat I get a little disappointed because I know I'd just look like a doucher if I did the same thing. Really nice parkas. People think they look cool, but they actually keep them warm. For me it's wearing ridiculously expensive shoes, clothing. Especially when I know you really can't afford it. I like quality apparel as much as the next person. But there's a point where $350 sneakers are just ridiculous. I had a friend that thought I was crazy for buying a $1,500 TV. I told her, last year you spent $800 on a necklace that I have seen you wear twice. I use my TV every day.